Hi everybody, it's Oops Pa, aka Katie, and I am here to do a baking video. Woohoo! It's been a while, and I'm gonna make some frogs today. So hopefully you're gonna enjoy them, and I'm gonna show you the ingredients. I'm gonna show you part of the cooking process, and then I am gonna show you the end result. So here we go. Okay, so to get started, you need a large saucepan. You're going to need 2 cups of white sugar, half a cup of margarine or butter. You're going to need half a cup of milk. You're going to need half a cup of cocoa powder, and you're going to need a teaspoon of vanilla. And then you're also going to need 3 cups of oatmeal, 1 cup of coconut, shredded coconut. It can be sweet or unsweetened. We try for unsweetened. And then you're going to need a mixing bowl right over there, a medium-sized mixing bowl. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is melt the butter in the pan. And at this stage, it calls for half a cup, the recipe, but I generally add 1 to 2 tablespoons more of butter at this point because it's going to make your frogs a little glossy or shiny, and I think that they look prettier that way. So I recommend you do this. Then as the butter is nearly melted, I'm going to then add my half a cup of milk, and this is measured out in a liquid measure. At this point I like to add 1 or 2 tablespoons more of milk because I don't like to have dry frogs. So to the butter and milk we're going to add 2 cups of granulated white sugar. And in this case, I just add the 2 cups, or a little bit less is okay as well. The recipe calls for half a cup of cocoa, which I'm putting in right now. But this is one of those ingredients, like the butter and like the milk, that I like to add a little extra. So I'm going to add another 1/4 of a cup. So as you can see here, this is my extra portion. So at this point, you want to stir all your ingredients together, and you want to turn your temperature up. I have had my temperature on low because all I was doing was melting the butter. But you want to bring this to a boil, and you want it to boil for 5 minutes. So to do that, I'm going to turn my temperature up to 5, which is about medium. And it will start boiling not too long from now, and then I will let it boil at a full boil for 5 minutes. I'll take it off the heat, and then I'll add the vanilla. Now while I'm waiting for my wet mixture to come to a boil, I'm going to prepare my dry mixture, which is just 3 cups of oatmeal and 1 cup of coconut. So here's our first cup. And to the 3 cups of oatmeal, I'll be adding 1 cup of coconut. I'll mix these together, and then I'll get them ready to pour into the boiled mixture when it's finished. The wet mixture here has come to what we call a full boil. So it's not just boiling here and there, but the entire pot is boiling. And it's at this point that we put the timer on and start our 5-minute countdown. You'll want to continuously be stirring because sugar will burn really easily. Just a little tip for you, when you're working with sugar on the stove top and it's being boiled, you want to stir slowly. The problem with stirring quickly is that you'll end up adding a lot of oxygen to the mixture, which will crystallize the sugar, and it'll give your cookie or your square or your fudge, whatever you're working with, a crunchy texture or grainy texture. And so you want to avoid that, and to do so you just make sure that you stir constantly, but that you stir slowly. So after your 5 minutes are up, you're going to remove the mixture from the heat, and as it starts to cool down, you're going to add your teaspoon of vanilla. Now, I like vanilla, and so I add not a teaspoon, but generally a tablespoon or 2. So there we go. You want to stir that in really well before you add the final ingredients to this pot, which will be the dry ingredients, the coconut and the oatmeal. So I've added the final ingredients to the mixture, and I'm just going to stir this around until Absolutely everything is coated, all the oatmeal and coconut is coated in the chocolate mixture. If you follow the directions as the original recipe, you'll want to do this very quickly because what's going to happen is that the mixture will dry in the pot before you get a chance to put the cookies out on the wax paper. However, because I have a little extra butter and a little extra milk in this, it won't dry as quickly, and so I have a little more time to mix it well before I put it on the wax paper. So the pot is really hot, and so I gently sit it down on an oven mitt and not on any kind of surface, just to prevent any kind of heat damage. And the mixture is very hot as well, so when I scoop it out, I use 2 spoons and avoid using my fingers, because if you put your fingers in that mixture, they will burn. All right, so I'm back again, and here's the cookie in question, and I'm going to break her open for you. Got to be careful when it's still warm like this because it'll crumble still. So that's it. It's very chocolatey, and now I'm going to try it. Super delicious, super chocolatey, just like I like it. So I hope you'll give the frogs a try one of these days, and I'll chit chat with you all later. Bye.